From Canberra, the last qualifying game in the 95 Mobil League between SYD Cenovis and the Australian Institute of Sport. Sydney will be hoping their experience up front will blunt the exuberance of youth. Nerida Stewart and Katrina Wagg will be the goalers. Australian centre court player Mary-Ann Murphy is in pleasing form and combines well with Wheatley and Gilmore. Liz Ellis and Alison Williams are in the last line. The AIS will hope for a repeat of Catherine Coxon's last shooting performance when she landed 91%. Kirsten Wheeler is her partner in goals. Mid-court sees Jolie Riding at wing attack, Megan Flyner in the centre and Melanie Vivian at wing defence. The Circle defenders have finished the season strongly. Narelle Garbutt and Julie Harrison should give as good as they get from Stewart and Wagg. Well, what's at stake in this match is 5th place, and the kids from Canberra would love to finish in that position. You have to favour Sydney on experience, but Anne Sargent, I think this is a hard one to predict.
I think you're right, Steve. Obviously with Cenovis there's a lot at stake, a lot of pride, and they had such a glorious debut season last year, finishing in the semi-final positions, that they'll be disappointed to not have repeated that this year. But I hear there's a lot of excitement in the AIS camp, and I think the youngsters are really primed for this game. And the other thing you've got to remember is they've shown a lot of progress across this Mobil League season. So I think there might be a shake-up in Canberra today, and I think the wisest thing we could do is sit back and let the girls do it.
The AIS are in the red and white, and starting with the centre pass from Megan Flyner. And I think, as you hinted at in our opening remarks, Anne, this should be a confident up Institute side. The opportunity here to finish 5th when the season started, well, almost disastrously for it. A couple of heavy defeats, and we might be thorough to it, and I think they are.
It was a shocking start to season. You had to expect losses because each year they pull together a young squad, but a lot of turnover into your team. But throughout the competition, as Lizzie Ellis just screams through and takes a beautifully timed intercept and gives Cenovis a chance at a second. Across the season, they've really developed, and we've seen a lot of maturity on young heads. They've been in fight-back situations, they've held leads, and I just heard there's a lot of upness in camp, some singing, some motivation, so they're bubbling along.
It's nothing to do with Julie Harrison's 21st this week.
Yeah, Bubbles there too.
So the miss for Cenovis, and we're one apiece in the first minute of the last match for both these teams. This year, they're not going to make the semi-finals, but a fair bit at stake. Cox. And Cox crossed the season averaging around 75%, shot 91% as we mentioned in the last start against Brisbane, 32 from 35. Wheatley to Murphy. Wagg.
Contact wing. Holding, keeper, penalty.
And that one against Harrison off the ball.
And whilst we're on the topic of Harrison, it's her last match for the AIS. She returns to the Sydney competition after Mobil League to resume play with Man Moringa. So I think there's probably a couple of parties happening.
Cox cross court for Riding.
Rotate, advance a penalty, wing defence. You're out of play, no speaking. Pass or shot, we were.
Louise McMeacham advancing the penalty, and she's umpiring with Barbara Cox on the far side. Wagg, Murphy, oh, they're pretty quick. Stewart wants a better position. It might fall for Wagg, it does.
And quick pass over to Nerida Stewart draws the reaction that Katrina Wagg wanted and draws the penalty. It was a no-lose situation.
Wagg. Good even start to this match, re-a-piece.
And ample speed on court. It's hard to imagine they can sustain this pace across the full 4 quarters.
Wheeler, whose ankle is 100% here after suffering an injury early in the season that hampered her playing time.
Really impressed with Catherine Cox's performance this year. She was dragged in New South Wales through the ranks into the open team because they saw potential, and she's really replied well.
Wagg shoots over Harrison. Riding. Jolie the ball. Wheatley went up and left it. Yeah, she realised her opponent couldn't get it. So Sydney ball. Barbara Cox patrolling the far sideline. Williams down to Wagg. Garbutt had come way out and missed the intercept, and she's missed again.
Strong play from Stewart. The cross-court pass and drive. Just watch Stewart. She winds it up, puts a drive along the base, and really strong hands on that take to finish.
Wagg again. Harrison did enough to put her off, and Garbutt there for the rebound. It falls for Stewart. Well, lucky the AIS. Like they'd pick up the scraps, then drop them. Four and a half minutes gone, and 2 the lead for the Sydney team.
Wheatley and Murphy causing a bit of havoc across the midcourt. They're both very fast and they've been flying, just getting touches on some of the AIS passes through the middle. But with the speed and the backup, they're turning them over into goals.
Wag, you better have your hands up when she's got the eyes elsewhere, just in case the pass comes to you. As it did to Stewart.
It's a hands or a mouth guard when you play with Katrina.
And again, we knew that that was going to be Sydney's ball from the side, so she let it go out. She has it again now. Wag with a rocket past Stewart again. There was a close range. And they're not shooting all that accurate. They're getting a lot of offensive rebounds, if we can call them that. Sydney by 3, maybe 4 if they can adhere. Stewart. AIS needing to convert centre pass possession here. Just a stop for a moment after going goal for goal. Using the full width backboard. Cox thought she saw Wheeler open, but the pass was too big. Ellis. When we last saw Liz play, she was getting attention to her back at every quarter break. And again, Australian coach Jill McIntosh is here to watch her progress. Murphy to Wag, to Wheatley, and Stewart.
Cenovis really confident to explore the territory close to the post. They're really not taking any long-range shots. They're very confident about either the pass on between the shooters or using Murphy and Wheatley to drive themselves a little closer and pay dividends, because whilst they haven't been as accurate as they'd probably like, they've been very quick, as you see, on recovering rebounds.
Another touch from Murphy, and the Sydney midcourt is relieving the AIS bath at the moment. Garbutt, the rare rebound.
Well, the AIS has options through the midcourt. They've got a couple of young players producing good netball in that area, so we might well see another one take the court. Nick Robinson there. Have a go. How many players are in the midcourt just on that one pass?
Holding call against Melanie Vivian. Murphy takes it. And Garbutt went the wrong way. Wag was open. And since for the last 7, and it's quite a margin they're opening up. Okay, Teed asked coaches to be a little concerned. I know they're very pleased to be playing at home, not having to travel. It's a while since we've covered a game in Canberra.
Well, for that reason alone, they'd like a fine performance, because they are in front of fellow AIS athletes, and of course the local people really love the Institute players, and families have travelled. So it's a big game for the Institute, and their goal is not letting them down.
Flyer. Shrewd bounce pass to Cox.
Good delivery ahead into the space ahead of Cox. She holds well and the reach is good. Watch the space. It's explored ahead of Cox, past Williams.
Wheeler. Cox, long way out. Flat trajectory on the shot too.
Yeah, she really pushed that one through.
Gilmore. Lee.
Oh, open nicely to Stewart. The timing beautiful on the move from there to Stewart.
Well, Garbutt really had to run onto that, and she did. Colliding with Gilmore off the ball. Both okay. Riding to Cox. Pretty congested on that either circle. And Wheeler, good move. And well appreciated by a small but enthusiastic crowd in here. Not such a cold night for Canberra. It's a bit early for the really chill nights.
So it's beautiful autumnal weather. Pretty hot on the court for the Institute, though. You'd dearly love to reduce this margin. I think we'll see some move in the lineup.
10.5 left in first quarter. And a 10-goal lead is a big one to concede so early in the match. Sharon Wheatley, the pass Sydney. And it was a fine one for Stewart, who doesn't let it down. Round
They're
and
not
round.
worth 2, are they?
They ought to be. For entertainment value.
Meredith Stewart deciding she'll give us a run for our money. It's
One,
in, it's not. It's in, it's not.
Oh, that was a 7.20 and then some.
Maybe they're only worth half a point because they're not sure. 28 is just a scoring spree for Cenovis.
So anytime you get 20 goals in the quarter, you know you're well on top of your opposition.
Yeah, not too puffed, not too hassled. Oh, nice play there from Wheeler. And Cox there has an opening opportunity, but Wheeler approaches the post.
Wag. York backs up. Wheatley breaks away from Melanie Vivian. Wheatley and Murphy have had very strong first quarters.
Oh, yes, they're really dominating through the mid-court. And we're not a player on court, Cenovis, that's not committed to establishing a win.
Timekeeper's up. So last few seconds of the first quarter. An ambitious effort to get down there in a hurry from Reagan Gilmore. Pass went straight, but enterprising first quarter from Sydney Cenovis. They did everything right. Managed to create a lot of turnovers and convert them and take a lot of important rebounds. So at quarter time, Sydney Cenovis 21, Institute of Sport 8. Flyner gets us underway, second quarter, and they'll be hoping for better things, the AIS.
And Cenovis, what a bright start, but as you can see, it's all possession, not as much accuracy. 16 from 23 for Nerida Stewart, 69%. Katrina Wag sitting on 62%, so heaven help the AIS if Cenovis can get both possession and the accuracy going. The AIS really starved of ball in that first quarter, only 12 attempts, 50% for Wheeler, so that really slid as the quarter went on. And Catherine Cox with 6 from 8, 75%, but the potential to make that even higher.
31 shots, 12. I mean, if they're putting out 2.5 shots to 1, I mean, with shooters the calibre of Wagons, but even if they're only shooting in the 60s, I mean, the writing's on the board, and so are the stats, the score.
And in terms of possession, I think that would have to be one of the widest margins in the first quarter in this series.
In any event, Gay-T has decided to stick with her starting 7.
Well, it's important in their position with youngsters to give them a chance to try and pull themselves out of a bad situation and play through it. And it's just as important to give others a chance for exposure. So they've got to have that fine mix between the two things. I think in a more seasoned team, you'd probably be more likely to whip some off if it's not firing. But it really does show you that Cenovis are playing on pride and really want to finish the season well.
Hiding. Cox.
It reminds you too that Cenovis did have some serious injuries at the beginning of the season, and they're really running their form in all too late.
So pretty close to upsetting Garble in Melbourne. And got outclassed really by Melbourne, 59-34, in their game previous to this one. Against Harrison, so Wheatley will take it, allowing Stewart to head back to the circle. Up for Wag, it'll be intercepted by Gar, but the pass wasn't quite right. Very tough for Katrina Wag to pull that one in.
Well, it was the wrong option as well as the wrong pass from Wheatley because...
well, Wag's got her out of double by taking the intercept mid-court.
Well, haven't you seen her do that so often? As defensive effort through the middle. You know, one you love to have in your team. She takes that one on the fingertips.
Wag still unsure of whether she'll be on the plane to Birmingham. Any touch you're going?
Yes, I'm going. Taking my trusty little tour over there to support the Aussie girls.
This is the ABC, so we'll be bringing you the final, at least, of the World Championships in Birmingham.
I was going to say, I'm taking you too.
Thank you. 23-10, 4 minutes, 3.5 minutes gone, second quarter. So 2 apiece at the start of this quarter. The AIS went goal for about 5 minutes at the start of the game, and then it all came unglued. See if they can come up with some stickability on it.
Yeah.
Wag. Murphy. Harrison pulls in the rebound.
Patience is the call from the Institute bench. Gay-T asking her youngsters to think it through. Wait, read the options. Call before that asked them to work from front position defensively. So she's reminding them of their basics and not to try and chase Cenovis, but to build their own good netball.
Oh, bad. Quickly on to Wheatley. Most of the time getting to Stewart. One offside though. And the Cenovis bench.
Julie Harrison screamed that the pass was on and trying to call Narelle Garbutt back.
Still Reagan Gilmore. Hiding. Liner. Two back on Cox, so they've got to play around the circle.
Space was going up then behind Alison Williams, but unseen by the Institute feeders.
Wheeler trying to do a little Natalie Avellino there, let it bounce along the court. And we'll wait to see what happens with whether Natalie Avellino can make the semi-finals this weekend.
Yeah, the new out of Adelaide that just gone over on the ankle and not looking good, but hopeful of recovery. It'll be a huge dent to the Gardner campaign, knowing that they're pretty keen to avenge last year's results. And we're looking for all the world like they were able to do it. So we'll wait and see. No doubt Jim McIntosh managing that one closely too.
Outside.
I was thinking watching the girls play that whilst respective national leagues in New Zealand and Australia are drawing to a close and players with their club in a domestic competition, you're almost holding your breath.
This was a lovely mid-down court from yes, one of their best so far.
Wheeler uses the space at the top of the circle and a strong hold from Cox close to the post.
Where you are.
It's almost a matter of sort of holding your breath and waiting and watching players, just hoping you can keep them all on court for when it counts, knowing they do have to compete strong netball in their club sides before they go away. So I'm sure both countries reading each other's press clipping closely, and the odd video pressing the table.
Oh yes, we've been party to that. The AIS are winning the course 6-4 at the moment.
That's important for them, quarter-to-quarter breakdown, and guessing whether they can recover after what was, no words, perhaps.
And Cox backs up Wheeler. He's got the sleeves rolled up. They mean business this quarter. Again.
Well, the option was there to use riding that they didn't use, and Shimo's got caught out of position. So letting it go when it's on.
The Ellis read that pass well, get a hand on it and turn possession over to Whitley.
Stab from Melanie Vivian. A little up from behind.
Murphy. Whack.
Wag on a strong hold, good to see the timing good between the two of them.
Murphy.
Only 3 seconds against Cenovis.
Skillful touch from Whitley too on the stretch.
Yes, Institute managing to lift the effort up.
Tim McIntosh head down, taking notes. And no doubt keeping a close eye on the Australian plus out there.
Forcing contact, goal third.
Ellis, Murphy and Mag. Still awaiting her fate. Depending on Shelley O'Donnell's kiss.
Catherine Cox with 8 straight in the second quarter.
Has just started to let it go a little, the Institute. The margin was 7 or so. Now it's out to 11 again. Wheeler.
Institute throw in. Well defended by Cenovis. Cox putting the hold on, and Wheeler really wanting to put it over the top of Williams. It was on such close position to the post. It really worked in Cenovis's favour. Sometimes defenders, they're clever, and attackers can use that post as a third person.
So Monique Robinson warming up behind us for the Institute. So have to change the two for half-time, which is 4 minutes away now.
Replay called against Sharon Wheatley. And Murphy's bottom causing havoc. That was the call it indicated. So Marianne mentioned that on
Exactly, yeah.
I'm just explaining the call.
Yeah, better you than me.
Yes, it's true. It's a technical explanation.
Okay. Flyer to riding to Wheeler. Wheeler can only push it back to Williams. And Sydney on the drive. Whitley, Gilmore. Powerful shoulder pass. Just missed by Garber. The next one. And picked up by Vivian.
Strong place ball by one too many passes. Really needed the shot to go up at the end of that strong passage.
Up goes Wag again. What captain's game she's having. Wag looking to wipe off Garbutt, and now they've got Stewart.
Stewart front-wing to the post, but she gets held up.
Weekly now. The baseline is Stewart.
As you said, Steve, a bright start to the quarter, but really coming undone as the quarter builds. Oh, Ellis again reading it well. Ellis and Williams really exploring some territory in there, showing off their elevation.
Gilmore really gets in those passes, doesn't she? If you're going to take an intercept on the Reagan Gilmore's pass, better have read it before she sends it.
She's a really deceptive player, really high workload, and she's a ground player, does the hard yucca well. Works over, works the ground, a nice space, and then fires those one you talking about.
Wheeler. Murphy with the centre pass. The lead is 12 Sydney. And we've got just over a minute left in the second quarter. Stewart. And the lead is out to what it was at quarter time now. So the challenge from Inchichi in the early stages of this quarter has been answered by Sydney. Oh, had to be a step. Nice slow ice.
I knew, even you.
Even me.
Now, Steve, I know the ball has come to a new healthier skill of your umpiring ability over the years.
Some more than others.
In my fan mail, they write to me about improvement in your umpiring.
Yes, I'm glad to hear that. Wag Murphy.
Oh, quick hands. Right to Stewart. Well, bet again well by Wag. Murphy on the drive, and Wag makes the pay.
Time. Keeper is up now. And Wag had put the shot quickly, or Stewart? No. Well, I don't know if it's the timekeeper. She should have behind the post and maybe taken the shot herself. It could have been away in time. You're up 33-19. It doesn't matter too much. I think Sydney Cenovus are travelling nicely. A 14-goal lead as they go to half-time. Third quarter underway. Sydney having won the second by 12 goals for 11.
And Little Moiby in possession in that second quarter. Stats still a bit low for Cenovis. 64% for Nerida Stewart with 9 from 14, though she carries the workload. It's come to expect 3 from 4 at 75%, so she's still enjoying that feeding role. Yes, again, 50% for Kirsten Wheeler, only 2 from 4, so I'm sure that's something she wants to address. But Catherine Cox, the standout in the second period with 9 from 9 at 100%.
And she started with a boomer in the first minute of this quarter, a long-range shot, and Wag answering. Some changes to tell you about made at half-time. Start with the easy one. Alison Williams and Liz Ellis, defenders for Sydney, are swapped, so Williams is now goalkeeper, Ellis goal defence. But for the AIS, Megan Flyer has moved forward from centre to wing attack. Jolie Riding is off. Monique Robinson is on as centre. And Jackie Mead is goal defence. And Royal Guard, goal defence for the first 2 quarters, is off. And Monique Robinson, the word is, has been playing well.
Yeah, young New South Wales player. Played 21s for New South Wales last year, her first year in that age category. And yeah, she's had some bother with calf injuries, and that's been undergoing some treatment to the point that they've been putting them in classes to address tightness and stretch, and apparently they found with the mileage that they wanted, and she's far more comfortable and producing good netball, so that's good.
And Monique's doing human movement at Sydney Uni, of course. You'd be familiar with that?
Yes.
Your old faculty?
Yes. I shouldn't sing the song or anything, should I?
No, okay. Don't think so.
So far better at shooting goals.
Well, way back when you did the course, it was Bachelor BD, wasn't it? Bachelor Education. Human movement. Quick shot got away by Cox, but really in no position to convert it. And Sydney still at the other end.
Contact with tag.
Through the hands of the Institute, and Sydney wastes little time, turning it back down the other end. Stewart.
to hold it up and wait. Simple joins her. Stealing shot.
Rebound taken by Harrison. Robinson looking to get in the game, but Wag. Well, she'll have to work out that Wag takes a set from everywhere.
Advantage outside the figure.
So the RFH looking at a 15-goal deficit. They've got to hold Sydney in the second half and finish the competition with something to go on with, something to feel proud about. They've certainly given some performances where that's been the case. They had the one win where they defeated Brisbane 52-46. And they'd be pretty pleased with that scoreline they took away from the match against Sydney Electricity, 61-52.
Well, they had an opportunity to win that match, and obviously in the last quarter, but I mean during the quarter, but very close to hitting the front.
Liner. Wheeler.
Very important, though, as you say, for women's lineups, quarter-to-quarter performances to be assessed. When admit that they are new combinations and young players, it's very important to say, okay, that combination in the third quarter ran well. Combination in the second, they not. So they're out there fighting for time.
Wag trying to dish it up to Stewart without looking, but he has to wait. Line to Robinson. Well taken by Liz.
A little shake on Robinson's head before that was even taken. I think she realised it had gone up a little short.
So she's got a couple of intercepts. Trying to find the pace of the game. And the elevation of Wag and Ellis.
I was going to say, Ellis is probably not the person you'd try it on. Wag having a really fine game for Cenovis. Really playing an athletic game. Workload's high, just deep down the mid-court, defending.
Stewart. Wheatley receives from Murphy. That was a short pass from whistle of Barbara Fox.
It was a very casual offload too. It's just here's yours. There's seafood following.
Gilmore, Ellis. Working down court this quarter. Murphy up for Wag. Finer. Fox Wheeler on the stretch. Every pass the Institute's trying to deliver is under pressure. Murphy to Wheatley.
That's on the advantage with the break and giving for the centre whistle. So often we've seen them on the drive and then held up because it hasn't fallen into place ahead of the player.
Oh, two Sydney players they're waiting to intercept, both taller than the hapless Megan Fleiner.
And that just ran down the court with very little defense from the Institute.
I suppose, Anne, that can be done, can't it? If the turnover comes unexpectedly,
they're caught on the attack.
You're not in shape to defend. Vivian. Wheeler. Robinson to Fleiner. Oh, Cox. Well, push out a bought by a teammate. That was unfortunate that Wheeler didn't realise that Cox had it covered. If she'd left it alone, Cox would have been fine.
Absolutely. It was interesting to see that Robinson didn't take the high ball as first option. She decided to work it around, and together with Fleiner, they moved the ball so they found the best option, and they had it in Cox.
Play!
6-4, Sydney leading this quarter. 7-4. Cenovis has been unable really to arrest the momentum that Cenovis have enjoyed for most of the match.
Good touch then from Julie Harrison, defending the long lead of Stewart's right to the end. No touch then, but it's on the hand, so a penalty pass or shot for Nerida Stewart. I think that was to be a shot, but we might call it a pass.
Oh.
They're just practicing.
Yep.
Toying.
She'll take the rebounds all day, especially off her own shots. Robinson. Wheeler.
Ellis skipping around for that one. She decided Cox has enough height and mobility that she better keep tabs on her.
well taken. That's from Cox, so casual and skillful.
Worked around. Flyer looking for it. Robinson will take it. Taken on the left hand, shot on the right hand. Interesting.
Wheeler, Robinson, all getting a look at it. Catherine Cox.
Instruction, go defence, got your arms around. Pass or shot.
It's against Alison Williams. Looks like Wheeler will take the shot.
Instruction. Bang and goal. Institute. Instruction, wing defence, hand offside.
Oh, a little up. She'll take it. There's Ellis not so happy about it.
Again, played around the outside of the circle by the Institute feeders. Wheeler, though, long range.
Stewart picks up at the rebound at the other end. A minute 20 or so out from three-quarter time. He's just taken a couple off the margin. Cox.
And often Robinson starting to warm to the challenge. Shaky start from her. Robinson on the drive, gathers it well, and the ability to offload to Cox.
This match has been played at a pretty brisk pace, and it had to be hard for Robinson coming on at half-time as a cynical player to adjust to that speed.
Yes, it's a difficult thing for any player entering the game to make those adjustments, and I think players around them have to be sensitive to that as well.
A few people play the game quicker than Mercy and Wheatley. Robinson set pass. And Cox quick enough to run down the loose one.
Oh, and fires one across the court. Strong arm from Cox. Flyner on the receiving end. But again, nice work from the Institute at the top of the circle. That patience to work it around and wait till they can find a shooter.
Timekeepers up.
The advantage played on the centre breaks from Institute attackers. All too late.
So that was an interesting quarter. Looked like it was going to right away from the Institute. But with the margin at 13, 45-32, the Institute actually won that quarter. A lot of work to do in the fourth if they're to get near SYD Cenovis. 45-32 at three-quarter time. Last quarter underway. The Institute looking to try and knock something off the margin. And third quarter stats.
Well, they're on their way. They had one more shot at goal than Cenovis in that third quarter. But they'd really like to see the shooting stats improve. Goal shooter and goal attack, of course, switched throughout that last period, so that disguises our stats a little bit. 4 from 7 against goal shooter at 57%. Cox still the best on court in terms of accuracy with 9 from 11, 81%. Katrina Wagg really coming into her own in goals with 7 from 9, 77%. And Nerida Stewart, 5 from 8, 62%.
Well, I think SYD Cenovis feel they have the match because they've made several changes with Joe Babington coming on at goal shooter, Stewart shifting back to goal attack, Wagg from goal attack to wing attack, Sharon Wheatley is off.
Oh, Wagg working overtime in defence.
Vivian, throw in. Flyner has got an interesting tactic. That's a jump in the air and double-headed pass.
Shot.
Yeah. Cox really had to get the shot away reasonably quickly, having wasted a second or so picking the ball up off the floor. Get no sympathy with the umpire's 3-second count.
Absolutely not. Really trying to wave away Alison Williams, but she's working hard over the ball. Won't stop that one though.
Murphy with the centre pass. Stewart. And only gave it to Jackie Mead. Well intercepted. Wheeler. And Ellis in turn. Chips it to Wheeler. Flyner. Down they go. Is that Williams hitting a deck out through the hands of Cox? It's all happening out there.
Well, good recoverability from Lizzie Ellis. She was at full. I know it's like a stickability.
Yeah, let's go put that in the Anne Sargent exclusive list of unusual nouns.
I have to say her recovery is consistently good. Anyway, full stretch. I mean, she could have parted your hair, and then she was back in a circle and got a touch on the next. Alison Williams trying to emulate her.
Vivian is close to creating the intercept.
That pass was off the post and a most dangerous challenge from Vivian.
Ebbington back out the wag. Coach was going to take a shot at the look of Stewart's position. And Joy, warm applause from the bench. Wheeler. Cox. Ellis are too physical for the liking of the umpires. Caught out of the circle. Should have been fairly easy for the Institute. In fact, they will get a second go.
That was out of the hands, but good strong work from both Williams and Ellis in the final quarter. Really working hard over the shot, over the ball.
Murphy. Back to Williams. Don't think she was expecting it, but awake enough.
Well, she had to jump as a reaction just to get into the centre third. She was just happily watching.
Robinson. Vivian. Wheeler. Lizzie Ellis will be joining us on ABC Sport for the Mobil League final on the sideline as a special commentator. And it'll be 10 o'clock on Saturday night. So check you guys for Tuckhouse Times. Vivian, 13 the lead, as it was at three-quarter time, as it was at quarter time. Really, if Inski could take back that first quarter, this match could have been anything.
Well, how many games do you watch where you talk about a quarter? It's the first or it's the third, but I wasn't for the last. It's often the case. It's a lapse in concentration. And I think Cenovis have been guilty of that in other matches, the ability to string quite a few goals together and go off the boil, then colour.
Wag has it in the corner.
Unbeatable in the air, isn't she? Unbeatable in the air.
Robinson, Cox, and Wheeler. Well, it's lucky Catherine Cox's shot is coming from such a high position because the trajectory is not always textbook, but she's got the stats to show it works. And I'm a great believer in unconventionality. Can I?
You guys are picking on me. You'll be laughing when I go out the Anne Sargent book of terms.
Thank you, says Narita Stewart. She just have to stand there and take the intercept. Or the missed pass, I guess is a more accurate term for it. Murphy, Abington.
Gonna have the girl can shoot with all that screen going on. Oh, charged down by Gilmore though.
Vivian was not sure to control the ball though. 8:20 to go in the match, 12 the lead for Sydney.
Murphy just a tad late. Liner to take the penalty. Well, the AIS on track to winning this fourth quarter. Great take from Cox. But again, Murphy.
Brilliant play. But also led by Jackie Mee, who's got the ambitious pass to Cox.
And Mee thought, let's not look around here. There's a lot of stuff in the middle. I'll go to the post. Jackie Meek sorts it out, takes the most direct route, and that's over the top to Cox on the baseline.
They're taking a long time to get there. Cox's rebound, Ellis fell in with no whistle. Good advantage played by Barbara Cox. Abington, Murphy, down goes Vivian. Actually fell in the circle. Allowed to play on and advantage again played by Mitchell. They're looking a little sad and sorry, but I think she should be reasonably satisfied with the second, third and fourth quarters.
Long ball from Murphy, who scored the intercept, and she'll offload to Babington for her sixth.
Jackie Mee took the rebound, but they turned it straight over.
And Narita Stewart deciding she won't be out with everybody else having a field day and potentially score her own intercept. So Cenovis certainly working the defensive floorboards well.
Flag. Stewart.
Goal shooter contest.
Matafana. Cox, and a strong challenge from Williams.
Strong shot from Cox. She nailed that one.
Well, Cenovis finishing a little more strongly than I suggested they might earlier in this quarter. And lead out to 15. Time maybe for Institute to get a shot. Not if they turn it over, we'll set it again. Ellis and Wag have had very strong games for Cenovis. Babington just coming on in the last quarter. Hasn't let them down either.
Smart move then for Babington. She realised that Julie Harrison had the speed on her, so she pulled off into the backspace.
Vivian. Shot goes up. The goal is good. And it was a good finish too. Just waited for confirmation from Barbara Cox that last shot from Catherine Cox, approved of by Barbara Cox, and 58-44. Sydney Cenovis then finishing in 5th position. Institute of Sport, 3 good quarters. It just got away from them at the start of the match. A lot of damage done there when Cenovis took a 21-8 lead at quarter time. AIS running with them after that, but they're never able to haul in what was a substantial first quarter margin. And 58-44 to Sydney Cenovis. A good finish to the season then for Sydney Cenovis, who end up 5th, and the AIS certainly improving across the series. And how do you view the competition for these two teams?
I think both have had good seasons. AIS in particular has shown a lot of improvement across it. You look at tonight's match, it was really only the first quarter where they struggled, and after that they were right in the game. Cenovis, of course, have struggled at the start of the season with injury worries and a couple of just missed opportunities, and they really wanted to run it home with a lot of strength. So I think both are very young sides, and it's encouraging to see them really take on the responsibility of fighting out results, and I thought it was good stuff from them.
Look at the young side that the AIS has. Which of the stand players are you?
I've been really impressed with both Wheeler and Cox. Cox in particular, Catherine Cox, I think a lot of Joe Morgan and Kim Cox are younger, but the same stature, moves really beautiful, accurate shooter. I think there's some nice work coming from Melanie Vivian, wing defence. She's been a real find for them. And Narelle Garber, Julie Harrison have teamed up with some strong defensive efforts as well. So I think there's a lot coming through. We've got to keep reminding ourselves for a lot of their time at the Institute. And for that alone, it's only the first couple of months at the Institute.
Cenovis made the semis last year. Luck was against them, really, this season.
Yeah, it's so often the case, though, when you step out the first time and you're a little unknown, you often perform quite sweetly because the pressure's not there and you're not really known by your opponents. The second time around, I think it's a lot harder to do than elite company. I think more than anything, they were knocked by a couple of injury worries. And I know youth is on their side. They've got a very young bench. They've got a lot of youth on court. And I think down the track again, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
All qualifying games have been played, and the final table with Sydney Electricity due to meet contacts. First place 4th in the first semi-final, and Garble against Pumas 2nd against 3rd in the other semi. Cenovis end up 5th from Bullets, AIS and the Brisbane Fluffy Ducks will be disappointed to take the wooden spoon in the 95 Mobil League. On Saturday we have 2 semi-finals for you in our normal goal attack time slot in the afternoon, and then later the same evening